How is it that with each chapter of Chainsaw Man to drop, it feels more and more insane? This week's chapter in particular has me already looking forward to the next chapter. Not even just the next chapter, the entire future of part 2. There's so many plot threads open, all weaving throughout each other that could honestly end at really any point. Once again though, we are given more questions with very few answers. That literally just opens up even more questions. And we received a partial answer about the mysterious chick that just opens up more questions. Then of course, there's the question of how will the relationship between Denji and Asa go down? Honestly, who knows where that will go, but that alone opens up a dozen other unanswered questions. For example, the chapter ends with Asa asking Denji on a date and him accepting. And man, I just feel so bad for Denji. The only women who have taken any interest in him just wanted to use him, and this isn't any different. It's not like she's after Denji as Chainsaw Man either. She legitimately just wants to use Denji as a way to get a strong weapon. But is that really any different than what Makima wanted? Where does that lead us though? Is Denji going to have some kind of immunity from being turned into a weapon, like he was immune to being turned into a doll? Will Asa develop real feelings for him? They do share a lot of common ground. And I guess more importantly, are we about to witness a battle between two chainsaw men and two horsemen? That is, if we still consider the theory of this mysterious girl being a horseman. Imagine, Asa and Denji versus the mysterious girl and the new chainsaw man, Haruka. That would honestly be a sight to behold. With that being said, here's what we know about Chainsaw Man Chapter 112 and what it could mean for the future of Part 2. The first bit of information to know here, did you know that each like and comment on this video helps promote it in the algorithm? Help a dude out. And while you're here, if you enjoyed the video, why not subscribe and stick around for the next Chainsaw Man related video? It'll be next week, as long as there's a chapter. Now that the segue into self-promo is over, the actual chapter. Chainsaw Man Chapter 112 starts with Asa asking the really important questions. Who was that mysterious girl who called her sister? With Yoru unaware of who it is either, she's left on her own to think. Coming to one of my conclusions from last week's video, that it could possibly be the Justice Devil. Even with that knowledge though, she doesn't seem too keen on finding out who it was. More so just curious. At this point, she's approached by a group of students from the Devil Hunters Club, with none other than the mysterious girl being a part of that group. And this plays largely into what I've said before. That isn't the Hunger Devil. Those aren't scales that she has as earrings. They are in fact the ripcord that we see in Denji's chest. Well, not technically Denji, but this new chainsaw man named Haruka, who reveals himself a little too easily, showing off his own starter to prove that he's Chainsaw Man. This would explain why Yuko was hunted down. While, yes, he wasn't there, members of his group were, easily giving him information and a reason to hunt Yuko down. Asa asked Yoru why she didn't fight him there, with Yoru replying that if she couldn't defeat Yuko, there's no way she could defeat Chainsaw Man, stating that she's going to need a stronger weapon. And Asa agrees. She agrees to make a strong weapon for Yoru. Yoru only being able to question what caused her change of mind. At this point, we get a deeper look into Asa's current psyche. She wants Yoru gone. Not for her sake, but for those around her. And if killing Chainsaw Man is the only way to return to a normal life, she's willing to do everything that she can. With the line, "I'd do anything to stop it, even turn someone into a weapon." It shows her stepping on a chicken, thus symbolizing her resolve. She's ready to do what she must in order to achieve her end goal, no matter what others might think of her. There's a pretty comedic scene after Asa and Yoru discuss who they should turn into a weapon. They spot Denji picking up cigarette butts. He then proceeds to make a new pack with the leftovers and sells it to a homeless man, with Asa seeing that and calling him a piece of crap. And honestly, this scene had my brain rolling, because at first I thought Denji was actually doing a good thing. Then I thought he started smoking in memory of Aki or something. Then I thought he was going to give the homeless man the cigarettes because he knew he couldn't afford them, only for him to sell the cigarettes to the homeless man. An absolute roller coaster of thoughts. Yoru does convince Asa that her getting her body back is worth more than Denji's life, and so now they have a target. But the part that really stood out to me were these two panels. Yoru says, "Think of it as a necessary evil to put an end to a nightmare." And the first thing that Asa thinks of was the visit from Yuko. Remember how I questioned if that was a dream? There's still the likelihood that it wasn't a dream, but at the same time, that moment shared some common ground with the sequences that Denji had involving a door. Plus, there was no sign of Yoru during that entire conversation, so it's completely possible that it didn't really happen and was in fact a dream. Really, it's only going to get more interesting from here. I cannot wait for next week's episode. And just a quick mention, the anime has been phenomenal so far. They got to the puke scene this week, and Power's laugh elevated that scene so much, like I was just cracking up. They picked the perfect voice actor for Power. Sorry for the small rant. As always though, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Otherwise, peace.